It's just about time for football once again. EA Sports is proud to bring you this exciting NFL broadcast. Let's take you now to Tom Hammond and Chris Collinsworth, who are getting set for the kickoff.
Well, the weather will be perfect for today's game. Tom Hammond here. Beside me, as always, Chris Collinsworth. We are underway onto the field for the first time, hoping to come away with some points on this possession. McNabb, Trent back to pass. Draw play. Brought down right around the 38-yard line. Westbrook comes away with around 5 yards on the delayed handoff. 2nd and 5. Ball on their own 39. The Eagles come out in the ace formation.
25.
And he's hammered at the 42. They get 3 yards on the play.
Well, that was the perfect time for them to call a blitz. They got in there, filled up all the gaps, brought down the running back for a short gain.
They'll give it off here. Loose ball. Zapoaga picks it up off the ground. He's got to find a way to protect the ball a little better, Chris. That was a very costly fumble.
2 hands, big guy. 2 hands in this league or you're going to cough them up.
Smith sends a man in motion. Feeds it to the back. What a quick move. He fights forward to about the 30. The back gets 3 on the carry. 2nd and 7 situation here. Ball on the 30-yard line. Gord alone in the backfield. Gore takes the give. The defender gets him to the ground, and they were not able to get much there.
And so many times you hear offensive coordinators criticized because they don't try to run the football enough. Well, when you get stuffed in the backfield like that, you understand why they would rather call the pass play.
Delayed handoff. Makes a cut, and he will be hit and dropped. So they tried to push it ahead, but the defense stopped them short of the first down.
Looked like one of those old-fashioned rugby scrums there. A lot of big bodies piled together and nowhere for the running back to go.
Kick is up, and he got all of this one. And he makes it, and he put that one through nicely.
It's a pretty rare kicker that can kick a ball that far with that kind of accuracy. That was just a cannon shot.
The kick is away. Fielded at the 4. Still going. He's hammered at the 31. Once again, we'll take this opportunity to remind you that this game is brought to you by the fine folks at EA Sports. Philadelphia goes with the ace set here. Drops back to pass. Huge pressure by the defense. Should have had that one. He was wide open. 2nd down for the offense after that incomplete pass. They line up at the 31. They line up with 1 running back in the backfield, 3 wide.
Here we go. What did he eat? Stay inside right here. Reload.
Gains his way to the 39-yard line. About 8 yards there.
You know you have a pretty special player at the running back position when, despite the fact that they're run blitzing him now, he can still get out of there and still come up with a nice gain.
Throw. Drop. They didn't have on that. Bear pick first.
It's a little up all day, and it looked like the defense in position, but that is just enough for the first down.
They'll throw on down. King or receiver. Passes up. That's back. 4 here on the camp. 2nd and 6. Ball on the 46 line. The backfield is in the offset I formation. Looking to throw. Short throw to the left. Knocked out at the 42. These days, you need a back who has good hands.
Yeah, running backs today have to be really complete players. You mentioned the fact they have to be able to catch the football and make plays on the outside, but blocking is so key as well. You have to be able to do it all if you're going to be playing halfback in the NFL.
They'll throw on first down. It's there for the catch. Stiff arms, and he's brought down. They get a nice pickup there.
Yeah, but he better be careful with those throws. That was pretty tight coverage. They got away with it that time, but I don't know in the future.
Nice play fake. He wasn't set when he threw. It's tipped away. Curtis was the intended receiver, and he can't bring it in. Second down now with 10 to go. And this is the 8th play of the drive. Run right side. He doesn't get back to the line. Nice stop on that play.
Yeah, great defense at the point of attack, but also very impressive the pursuit to the ball. They were all coming there.
Quick games, 44 screw.
Back to throw. Strong throw to his right. They push him out of bounds, and now they have first and goal. He shows no hesitation and gets it in there to get the first down.
Yeah, you wouldn't hesitate either if you were standing back there in the pocket. I say the heck with it. Get it out of there fast. Let somebody else handle it for a little while.
Here's the halfback. He didn't get back to the line. Well, they wind up in reverse that time. Good push by the defense.
And when the defense gets that kind of penetration, it just disrupts everything for an offense. They have to get that guy blocked.
There's a play fake. Throws it short. He's there for the catch. And he's knocked out at the 5-yard line. The defense was in great position to stop that play short, bringing up a third down situation.
And when I saw the quarterback drop back that time, I really thought they had something going, but they closed quickly and made a nice play defensively to bring up this third down.
On the ground with a tailback. Brought down at about the 3-yard line. Got a couple, but will still be short of the marker.
Great play by the defense. You always hear coaches talking about whoever gets lower. Get your pad level lower than the offensive lineman. That time this defensive line did exactly that.
He's got it. He put that one right through the upright. And here's your drive summary for that last series. Not a bad kick. Rossum takes it at the 8. Brought down at the 32-yard line. And they take the field again, looking to capitalize on their previous drive, which resulted in a field goal.
James, 22 press. James. There we go. Zebra. We never quit, fellas.
Sets up the play action. Makes the throw up the middle. He's dropped right around the 46-yard line. You can tell these guys practice that play quite a bit.
Yeah, I can remember hearing stories about old-time players in the NFL that literally they could go out in the pitch black and make throws and catches without really even seeing the ball. That's the kind of timing we're seeing today.
They go with the toss. And they get him right around the 48-yard line. Trent comes away with about 2 yards on the toss play. They come out with 4 wideouts. He drops back to pass. Goes through his read. And it's incomplete. The pass was deflected and swatted away by the defender.
I think the quarterback may have had to throw that ball a little sooner than he wanted to. The pressure was starting to get there.
He drops back. Dumps it out right. He's tackled at the 46-yard line. Pretty good gain on that completion, but it won't be enough for the first.
And you could see the defense that time. They knew exactly where those first down chains were. They were going to allow some underneath passes, but then came up and made the tackle, and that's going to bring up fourth down. Big play that time.
He punts it. This one's going to go out of bounds at the 21-yard line. They had to settle for a field goal on their last drive. They take the field again, looking to put up another score. Pitch right. He gets out to about the 22-yard line. Westbrook only gets about a yard there on the toss to the outside.
And Tom, that was because the defense filled up all the gaps. The back was looking for somewhere to run, but by bringing the run blitz, they took away all the holes and stopped them for a minimal gain.
Looking to throw. Looking for an open man. And he dropped him in the open field. The defense just didn't match up well on that play.
Yeah, tough to match up one-on-one in man coverage against that wide receiver. He's pretty good.
He drops back to pass. He threw off his back foot. Batted away. Jackson was the intended receiver, and he can't bring it in. They line up at the 31. Philadelphia lines up with three receivers, single back formation. The counter. He's brought down at the 39-yard line. A gain of 8 on the carry. Third down now, they'll need a couple of yards to convert for a first down. Offset I formation in the backfield. And they use motion. And they'll try and get the first through the air. The pass rush got it. That was a really nasty shot he just took.
Ouch, I know that one hurt. And the worst part is that the guys in the offensive huddle are now just looking at their quarterback, seeing if he can call another play, and all the guys on the defense are watching that one on the big screen again.
Gets it away cleanly. Rossum fields it at the 30. He's dropped at the 43-yard line. That guy just showed off some pretty good skills on that return.
I thought for sure he was taking that one back to the house. You know, anytime you get a guy with that kind of skill level in the open field with a little room to run, good things are going to happen.
On play action, he throws right. Tipped pass. What an effort out there. He just got his hands in there and broke it up.
I love watching the closing speed of this defense. When they see the ball, they go get it.
Offset I formation in the backfield. Drops back to pass. Surveys the field. Just clanks right off his hand. That one could have easily been intercepted.
As a quarterback, you have to go through your reads. That was his first look on that play, and he shouldn't have stayed with it that long. That was a bad decision.
Looking to throw. Throws right. With the catch. He's tackled at the 38. And a nice pass to the tight end.
So much of the game today revolves around those substitution packages, trying to bring extra defensive backs on the field to try and help against the pass. But when you have a big receiving tight end, that really makes that plan awfully tough to execute.
On play action. Past the line. Knocked out of bounds right around the 20-yard line. And that was a really nice run by the quarterback.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was quite that quick, but he found the seam, was able to get upfield for a nice gain. You know, if he keeps making plays like that, you might have to see a spy defensively to shut him down.
First down now and 10 to go. Ball on the 21.
You gotta watch the ball, bro. Hey, come on.
And they get him around the 20-yard line. So a gain of about 1. That brings up second down. Second down and 9 to go. Ball on the 20-yard line. The defense lines up with 5 defensive backs. Smith looking to pass. Under heavy pressure. Gore was the intended receiver, but the pass fell incomplete. So another third down upcoming for the offense. They'll come out in the shotgun. Smith set to go to the air. Scans the field. Completed. Finally make the tackle, and it will be first and goal. Great pickup for the first on that one.
And really what makes NFL football so special is the ability of these quarterbacks to throw it and these great receivers to catch it. That's just fun to watch.
Give to the tailback. Brought down at the 3. Gore comes away with 5 yards on the carry. Offense facing second and goal now. Ball on the 3. Fakes the run. Goes for the end zone. Oh my, the quarterback is lucky that one wasn't intercepted.
Yeah, you try and fit some of those into some tight holes, and every once in a while, you're going to get one pick, but that was a pretty good play by the defense.
They give it to the tailback. What a hit at the 6. The defense just ate up at the play.
Well, those defenders get paid too, and every once in a while they win the battle. Clearly that time they were all over this offensive line.
Kick is up, and it splits the uprights. Good kick that time as he puts it right through. Kicks it off. He'll return it from the 3. He can't bring him down. Brought down at the 27-yard line. They couldn't do anything against this defense on their last drive, and they were forced to punt. There are 3 wide receivers split out. The quarterback in the gun.
What did he?
He looks to throw on first down. Catch is made. He's tackled around the 44-yard line. Not a bad pickup that time.
Yeah, the defense came with pressure, but they couldn't quite get to the quarterback, and they paid a price. He got it out of there, picked up a nice gain.
McNabb set to go to the air. Throws while on the run. Brown was the intended receiver, but they can't complete the pass. From their own 44-yard line. The Eagles line up in the gun. 3 wide receivers are split out.
What did he? Let's go. Hey, don't get that ball out.
McNabb with the give. He's going to be tackled for a loss. Big-time play by the defensive end.
Yeah, and we know defensive ends are probably some of the most athletic guys in the league, and typically you think about them getting after the quarterback, but that time he used his athleticism to make a big stop in the run.
He drops back. Here's the throw, and it's caught. They complete the pass on 3rd and long, but they'll end up short of the marker.
You can see the confidence level of this defense. They know they can make open field tackles, and that's probably one of the great lost arts in the game. The ability to make the tackle in the open field and stop them short of the first down. Good play defensively there.
Gets the punt away. And they'll down it at the 6. Not much the return man can do there.
Yeah, he really did the right thing there. That's just to let it go, get out of the way, and really just give the guy credit. It was a good kick, very fortunate bounce. The last thing in the world you want to do in that kind of a situation is to fumble the football, give it up, short field for the other team, and a quick score.
Play fake. And the back has some running room. He's brought down at the 18-yard line. Nice pass play.
It really was in the 80s that we first started seeing offenses throwing the ball to the fullback. You know, for so many years, those guys were just big blockers.
Man in motion. Tosses it out. Brought down at the 18-yard line. The halfback is lucky to get anything on that toss play. From their own 18-yard line. They line up in the I formation. Back to pass. Flips it out short. And they get him at the 24-yard line. Pretty nice read on that play to find the open man.
Yeah, the two of them really have been working hard, building a rapport in practice, and now you're starting to see some of those results out here on the field.
Fakes the run. Looks for a man open. Picked off. Tackled at the 36-yard line. What a big-time play. I can't believe he hung on to it.
Well, we're going to have to quit using that old cliche about cornerbacks and defensive backs not being able to catch the football. That was some play that time.
Gives to the back. He gets out to about the 35-yard line. Almost got a yard.
And that's why you send all those guys to plug up the holes, and that time there were no holes, really, and he was lucky to get anything on the play.
Still a lot of time left, but at the end of one, the score is 6-3. He drops back to pass. Looks right. Throw. Clemens picks it off. Why did he even make that pass?
You know, Tom, I think he got baited into that throw. He thought the defensive back was going elsewhere. He did a little fake, came back in, made the pick. Just a real heads-up play.
Back to throw. Throws it out. Shepard intercepts it. Knocked out around the 35-yard line. What an interception by the cornerback.
You know, some of these corners are just freakish athletes right now. Oftentimes, they're the best athletes on the field. Maybe they don't have the skill set, great hands, great moves, whatever, but they are definitely among the fastest in the NFL.
They're going to pitch it. What a hit! Westbrook Brett gets 6 yards after getting the toss. So second down now. The offense needs about 4 for the first.
Come on, D, let's get off the field.
Nice play fake. Short throw to the right. Brought down right around the 12-yard line.
I think Donovan McNabb can just make you look so bad at times. You know, he has the quick release. He gets the thing out of there. Sometimes he takes off with a run and makes you play sort of a spy situation against him. But then you forget how big an arm he really has. He has the ability to get the ball as far downfield as anybody in this league.
And the halfback carries for a pickup of 3. The offense will line up at the 9 here. Offset I formation in the backfield. He'll be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. There was no way that defensive end was letting him go by.
Really impressive play that time by this defensive line. It wasn't just one guy, but every guy up front just dominating their guy at the point of attack.
Drops back to pass. Not much time to throw. He makes a great open field tackle. Despite the great effort, it will still bring up fourth. This isn't much more than an extra point. This will be about a 25-yarder. Kick is up. And right down the middle. Nice work putting that one right through the upright. Booming kick. It appears that we have a flag on the play. Looked like the ref is going to call this one back.
Holding by the receiving team.
It looked like you got a handful of jersey on that one.
Well, you hold with your hands, but more often than not, holding is created by not moving your feet. There, clearly, he didn't get his feet in position, so he had no choice but to hold.
And he's crushed at the 12. He was caught with nowhere to go.
This is a pretty good running back, and if you can hem him up like that, pretty impressive.
On the ground with a tailback. He's brought down around the 22-yard line. This back just made those 10 yards look easy. It's third down now, just about the length of the football away from the first down marker. Huge pressure by the defense. He's tackled around the 29-yard line, and that will be enough for the first down.
You know, it really wasn't a horrible call that time by the defense, but anytime you have to try and stop an offense like this in those medium yardage situations, you really have to come up in the coverage.
He throws it, and he caught it. He's dropped around the 36-yard line. The Gemma picks up 7 yards with that catch. They'll need about 3 yards here on second down. Single back formation. Tosses left. And they get him at the 39-yard line. Gore did a great job to get past the marker and get the first down. They come out with 3 wide receivers.
Zebra!
First down, looking to throw. Passes the ball. Makes the grab. Tackled right around the 42-yard line. That one worked pretty well.
It sure did, and I wish all our fans could see what's happening down the field on all our television broadcasts, because so much of the game now is won and lost in the secondary.
Smith is looking to stay perfect on this drive. The rush gets there, and it goes down. And that was a huge rush he was facing.
I'm not sure there was much he could do there. I'm not even sure he saw those guys coming. I tell you what, though, if they don't start doing a better job protecting up front, it's going to be a long day for this quarterback.
Smith calls for motion left. He fakes it. Throws it short. He makes the catch. A lot of room to run. Just a short, efficient throw that time.
Yeah, a true sign of patience on the offensive side. You let the play develop. You find the open receiver. Maybe he takes a look down the field. It's not there. Just go ahead and take that safe throw.
He's under pressure. Drops the sure pick, and the pass was knocked away at the last minute.
Well, at the end of the game, you go back and you basically say what happened on third down, and you have a pretty good indication of how that game came out. Good play by the defense.
Gets the punt away. This one's going to go out of bounds at the 20. The offense takes the field. hoping to come away with more than just a field goal on this drive.
Here we go. Left call, left call. Set. Come on now.
Fakes to the back. He scrambles around. He's going to run. Brought down at the 28-yard line. He scrambles there for about 8 yards. 2 yards away here on second down. Philadelphia lines up with 3 receivers, single back formation. Here's the give. He's brought down at the 29-yard line. He got what he could, and it wasn't much, and so it'll be third down. Offset I formation in the backfield. The Eagles motion to the right side. And they got him. They're going to need to tighten up their blocking, or this could turn out to be a very long game for the quarterback.
No kidding. I'd hate to be that quarterback right now. Clearly, this offense is having trouble recognizing the blitz, and even if they do recognize it, they can't block it.
Kicks it away, and it's a huge punt. Rossum fields it at the 30. He's tackled right around the 48-yard line. And that was a nice little punt return there.
Wow, I thought he was gone for a second. They did a good job getting to him, at least preventing the touchdown. Of course, they wouldn't have to chase him down like that if they'd have done a better job covering the punt.
And straight ahead we go with the fullback. So a pickup of maybe 3. That'll bring up second down. 2nd and 7. Ball on the 48. Smith is lined up under center. 3 receivers split out. Delayed handoff. He lost yardage on the play. The defensive line wins that back.
Yeah, on the delay, you're trying to get those pass rushers to take an outside route. You set inside as an offensive lineman and try and create a gap. That time they just came straight through this offensive line.
Rolling right. Gets the pass away. That was really a remarkable catch.
And I love listening to the crowd when you see a catch like that. You go, hey! And everybody sort of in unison. They love seeing plays like that.
Fakes the run. Goes through his read. And he's out of bounds, incomplete. They went with a sideline pass, but he couldn't stay in bounds.
And that would have been a spectacular catch if he'd been able to come up with that one, just thrown a little bit too far outside.
Smith hands it off. Tackled around the 30-yard line. 2-yard gain, and that makes it third down. They'll come out in the shotgun. Looks down the field. Incomplete. No connection this time. Johnson was the intended receiver, and he can't bring it in. It's fourth down. This one will be from 47 yards out. This will make it a field goal game. Kicks it, got plenty of distance. This one will fall left. That one seemed to sail on him as it approached the upright.
You know, I really shouldn't laugh, but sometimes it's just funny watching the coaches and the players on the sideline. They always have the same reaction. They watch it and they're all excited, and then they just turn their entire bodies around and put their back to the poor kicker who now has to just slowly walk off the field.
Hit and dropped behind the line. No one picked up the linebacker, and it cost them.
And when your defensive line can handle their guys up front and not allow the offensive linemen to get down on the linebackers, it really gives those linebackers a chance to look great.
McNabb drops back to pass. Makes the reception. He's dropped around the 49-yard line. What happened there, Chris?
There's really no better feeling as an offense, especially for the quarterback position, than to take advantage when the defense is trying to blitz you. They're trying to make you nervous, and you just made them pay.
Let's go.
First down, looking to throw. On the run, he throws it. Brought down at the 31. That's a first down right there. Might want to play them a little tighter, maybe even go to man coverage.
Yeah, there's no better feeling than when you're coming off the ball and you know it's just you and the guy across from you. That's just good old-fashioned football, but you also know typically when you get man coverage, your quarterback is under pressure.
He throws a bullet out to his right. It's incomplete. The receiver was out of bounds when he made the catch.
Not a perfectly timed throw that time. Held on to it just a little too long and led the receiver out of bounds.
You've just won an autographed football and free tickets to a future home game.
Let's get off. Right. Set. 44. Set. Hey, watch the sideline.
McNabb hands it off straight ahead. He's brought down at the 26-yard line. Westbrook gains about 4 yards on the play. There are 4 wide receivers split out. The quarterback in the gun.
45. Set.
Back to throw. Gets rid of the ball. Knocked loose. Curtis wasn't able to bring it in. Incomplete pass on the play. It looks like they're going to try for the long field goal. This will be a 43-yard attempt. Kicks it, got plenty of distance, and it splits the uprights. And now we'll take a quick look at the drive summary. And here's the kick. From his own goal line. At the 30. He's pushed out at the 45. He did a good job finding the seam on that return.
Yeah, he found an opening and darted right through it, and that return is going to set up this offense with some really good field position to start the drive.
Come on, little hustle. Here we go, team. Game 22 press.
Nice play fake. There for the reception. And they get him at about the 45-yard line. They'll get 9 yards on the play. That'll bring up second down. There are 3 wide receivers split out. The quarterback in the gun. Looking to throw. Looking for a receiver. Caught out of bounds, incomplete. He couldn't get 2 feet in on that one.
Well, that's something receivers work on all the time, dragging that back toe, just unable to do it that time.
The offense has their big set on the field as they try to convert here on third down. Feeds it to the back. He's tackled right around the 44-yard line, and they get no push for the offensive line.
Oh, yeah, they did. They were all moonwalking on that play. They were pushing. They were just pushing and going backwards.
Gets it away cleanly. Down in the end zone for a touchback. The last time they took the field, they were able to come away with 3 points. The Eagles use motion. He fakes it. Brings this one in. What an open field tackle. The play fake only nets them a gain of a yard. 2nd and 9 coming up here. Ball on the 21-yard line. McNabb is under center. They'll come out in the single back formation. It's the tailback. He's brought down around the 29-yard line. 7 yards there. That'll bring up 3rd down. 3rd and 1. Ball on the 29. The Eagles line up in an I formation. Dumps it out right. He's dropped at the 31. They got the 1st down by the skin of their teeth.
Let me ask you a question. How much skin do you have on your teeth?
Let's go, baby. Get the ball out. Ringo. Here we go. Tennessee. 5. Man, make the play. Gotcha. Roger.
They go with the run. He's hit hard on the play. Westbrook gets 3 yards on the play.
Ouch. You take too many shots like that as a running back, you start peeking around a little bit before you get that football.
2 minutes left in the half. 2nd and 7 situation here.
New call. Watch the hard count. It's on 3. Here we go. Come on. Set. Nasty. Watch the hard count. Set. Reload. Set.
Back to pass. Looking for an open man. Pass completed. He heads the other direction. Stiff arms, and the defender still makes the tackle. He was lucky to get that one off. He was under a lot of pressure in the pocket.
Good job by the offense that time. Really nothing there down the field. He just takes a little completion and keeps moving the ball.
What did he? Hey, watch the screen. Stay on side. That's hot then.
Setting up play action. Makes the catch. What a hit. I don't think he even saw that guy. He put a lot of air under that one.
Yeah, quarterbacks love throwing those little touch passes like that because it shows their finesse. As a receiver, though, sometimes those little touch lofted passes scare you to death because you're watching the ball and you don't know what's coming at you.
He's tackled at the 43-yard line.
You know, Donovan McNabb is really becoming much more of the classic drop-back passer. Early in his career, he was a tremendous runner, wanted to get out, but now more and more you're seeing him reading the defenses, making the clever little throws, and is so difficult to defend for a defense because he can still come busting out of there on the run.
Let's go, D. Jam free.
Only one man back. Smith calls for motion right. Drops back to pass. He passes middle. Parker gets his hand on it. Davis was the intended receiver on the play, and it falls incomplete. They line up at the 46. San Francisco comes to the line with 3 wide.
Green 88. Go.
Drops back. He scrambles away. Knocks it away. The defender got there in time to break that play up.
He did. He was able to get his hands on the ball, but if he had missed that one might have turned into a really big play.
The 49ers use motion. Surveys the field. Pass is complete. Tackle at the 47-yard line. Good pass and catch, but it won't be enough to convert.
I always have to snicker a little bit when I see a pass play like that. I can almost hear John Madden talking about how can you pick up the 1st down when you complete the pass short of the sticks? What are they thinking about? And he's just so right.
Gets his leg into it, and he got a huge punt here. Into the end zone for a touchback. So as the offense heads back onto the field, we'll take this time to remind you that our game is brought to you by EA Sports. If it's in the game, it's in the game.
What did he? Go. Hey. Set.
Under heavy pressure. He's brought down at the 21. Not much of a gain on that play action pass. We've got 2nd and 9 here. Ball on the 21-yard line. Philadelphia goes with the ace set here.
5.
That'll be it for the first half of play. Our halftime score is the Eagles 9, the 49ers 6. He kicks it off. Rossum takes it from the 6. He's hammered at the 25. So before the offense hits the field, let's take the time to let you know that our game is brought to you by EA Sports. Smith hands it off. He's hammered in the backfield. He tries to wriggle away, but he's stopped for a loss.
Well, Tom, the offensive line just didn't get any push there. They've got to do a better job knocking those guys off the line of scrimmage.
Davis motions to the left side. Drops back. He throws right. And they get him at the 36-yard line. A good play to the tight end that time.
And tight ends are so big that as coverage people, it's tough to figure out how to defend them. If you're on their left side, they throw it to their right side. If you're behind them, they throw it in front. Tight ends are tough to cover.
Looking to throw. Goes through his read. Makes the catch. He's dropped right around the 46-yard line. And it's the tailback with a big catch.
And tailbacks love that. Anytime they can get into the open field, think about that position. You're constantly pounding the ball inside and getting hit by those big linebackers. Now you get out in open space and you have a chance to make a play.
They'll throw on first down. He throws on the run. Interception. He's tackled around the 40-yard line. Well, he looked like he was in the right place at the right time.
Unless you're the quarterback, then he was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
They'll come out in the eye. Westbrook on the run. He gets out to about the 38-yard line. They pick up 2 yards.
Very effective call that time by the defensive coordinator, bringing the outside linebacker a terrific way to give your defense some help in stopping the run.
Go get it, baby.
Gives it off. Brought down at the 36-yard line. Westbrook picks up 2 yards with the carry. 3rd and 6 coming up. Nickel back in this time. Takes a shot deep to the right. Bats it away. And the defender breaks up the play.
Just great position that time on the defensive side. The receiver really never had a chance on that one.
And watch out, they're going to bring the heat right here. Punts it. It'll go out at the 15-yard line. You have to like it when your punter can pin the ball inside the 20 like that.
Now, this has got to be one of the tougher punts to make here. It's so easy to get a little too much on the kick, sending it into the end zone for a touchback. He did a great job hitting it just right on that one.
And they're coming after him. It's completed. He's dropped at the 24-yard line. Good job locating the gap in the coverage on that play.
You know, that's the kind of pass pattern I used to always love to run, because if the defense is even a little bit lax in their coverage, it's pretty easy to get that one in there.
Steps up in the pocket. And they get him at the 30. So the gain of 6 yards on the play, and they'll pick up the first down.
Nice job by the quarterback in that situation. He saw the blitz coming, simply got the football out of there, and picked up the first down.
Setting up play action. Throws on the run. McCall knocks it down. The defender was able to get a hand on it.
And really, that came as a result of pretty physical play at the line of scrimmage. They're banging these guys around and not letting them get into their routes.
Davis comes in motion. He drops back to pass. Passes it. He makes another reception on the drive. And that one will go for a first.
And really top-notch quarterbacks know how to throw a football in there without leading his receiver into trouble. That was a great throw.
There's a play fake with the throw, and he catches another. They pick up several yards there on the pass.
And that fake really was the difference. Not only did the quarterback sell it, the running back sold it, the offensive line did, and the receiver was open for a nice play.
He's brought down at about the 41. A 2-yard run by the halfback. Second down, 8 yards to go. Ball on the 42-yard line.
Come on. Rush. Blue 45. Blue 45. Tiger. Get that ball back.
Looking to throw. Dumps it out left. And it's completed. Defense pushes him out of bounds at the 35. Davis gains 7 yards with the catch. 3rd and 1 coming up on this play. Ball on the 35. They line up in the I formation. Throws while on the run. Knocked down. And the pass will fall incomplete. 4th down coming up.
And those are the kind of big 3rd down plays you have to have on defense to get the ball back and give your team a chance on offense.
In any form will not be tolerated.
Kick is up. And he makes it. That's a dangerous call in that situation.
It is, because when you're trying a long field goal, the ball has to come out at such a low trajectory that they get blocked sometimes. But anytime your field goal kicker can come through with a clutch kick like that, it really gives a lift to your team.
Once again, we'll take this opportunity to remind you that this game is brought to you by the fine folks at EA Sports. The Eagles come out in a single back formation.
5. No, you're good.
He wasn't set when he threw. Knocked out at the 35. They just couldn't get to the quarterback in time.
It's one of the dangers. You bring those extra defenders trying to get after the quarterback, and you're going to leave some man coverage on the outside. That time the quarterback able to take advantage.
Still pushing. McNabb gets sacked. That's one way to disrupt the passing game.
Yeah, it's hard for him to complete a pass when he's lying flat on his back. Right now, you have to change strategies offensively. You've got to get the ball out of there a little bit quicker. You can't allow teams to intimidate your offense with a blitz.
He doesn't get back to the line. Nothing doing. They stop him for a loss.
And I really like the discipline of this defense. You never see these guys trying to do too much. They control their gaps, and that time there was nowhere to go.
Looks to the middle, passes it. He's dropped at about the 37-yard line. The 3rd down pass got them good yardage, but not quite enough to convert.
Yeah, that was a tough 3rd down situation. They got the good completion, a good gain on the play, but probably asking too much out of the receiver to try and break that many tackles to pick up that 1st down.
Punts it. Makes the fair catch. The offense was only able to muster a field goal on their last drive. We'll see what they do with this possession. Gord alone in the backfield. Smith will look to throw. He's under a heavy rush. Comes down with it. Brought down right around the 28-yard line. The quarterback did a good job of recognizing the coverage and finding the open man.
As a receiver, when you go against a zone defense, it's much more about recognition and knowing where the holes in that zone defense are. That time the receiver executed perfectly and found the open spot.
And he catches it, and they get him around the 45-yard line. Great time for that type of pass. It worked to perfection.
And that was a nice job by the offensive line, allowing the quarterback enough time to survey the field and find the open guy.
Hey, we get ready to play some D, baby. Yeah, we see that screen.
Hands it to the back. They tackle him for a loss. Nowhere to go that time, as the defensive front got very good penetration.
And that's really the key to stopping the counterplay, because with all those offensive linemen and the slow motion in the backfield, if you can get penetration, you can really disrupt the counter.
Back to pass. Dumps it out right. Oh, you gotta catch that. An excellent job by the defense of disrupting that last play.
And that was really on the wide receiver. Not much of a route, very little separation, and gave the defense a chance to make that play.
Blue 45. Blue 45. We need that rock. Let's go. Raider. Go.
He's looking to throw. Passes. Brings it in. He's tackled at the 43-yard line. And they pick up the first down with a pass to the tight end.
If you're going to try and stop a tight end from catching those types of balls, you have to get physical with him at the line of scrimmage. If you give him free releases, he's going to wear you out.
They go with the run. He's brought down at the 41-yard line. Gore gains about 2 yards on the run. Second down, 8 yards to go. The backfield is in the offset I formation.
Blue 45. Blue 45. Regular.
Sets up the play action. How can you drop that? And he just managed to get a piece of it. Nice play by the defender.
And as a receiver, you really have to do a better job of coming back to the football at that point. You have to help the quarterback.
He's looking to throw. Surveys the field. Out of bounds, incomplete. He caught that one out of bounds.
Well, you could see the receiver doing all he could to keep his feet in bounds, but that pass just let him out of bounds.
Gets the punt away. It'll go out at the 18. Not much you can do on the return team there.
Great kick and even better coverage. Boy, it sure makes winning the field position battle a lot easier when you have special teamers like this.
He throws it. It's intercepted. He's dropped at about the 33-yard line. Good job on defense to be right there for the interception. Seems like the defensive coordinator called the perfect play.
And there's no question they were sitting on that one. That is one of the bread and butter pass plays of this offense. They've been working against it all week, and that was a special little trick there that came up with the interception.
Setting up play action. Can't hang on. Almost a catch, but he had it pop right out of there.
And that's so frustrating as a wide receiver. You know you're going to get hit on the play. Just wrap it up, make the catch, and go to the ground.
Looks to pass. Scans the field. Looks like he had it, but it's knocked loose. The intended receiver just got laid out.
Boy, that was a big hit. I'm not surprised at all he couldn't hold on to that one.
They're in the shotgun with 3 wide receivers. San Francisco sends a man in motion. He drops back to pass. Moves forward. There for the catch. And he will lose yardage on the play. Looks to be a loss of around 3 or so on the play.
They did a great job of keeping containment there. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that one.
lead, punts it, and he kicked this one pretty well. And it goes out of the end zone for the touchback. The quarterback leads his offense back onto the field after turning it over on their last drive. Westbrook is the single setback. They hand it off. He'll be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Tried to find something, but there wasn't anything there for him.
Yeah, not anything at all. And as a running back, you're probably going back to the huddle going, guys, a little help, please?
Stop the run first. Blue 55. 45. 44. Right. Close right. Tango.
They'll go with the run once again. He couldn't get anywhere on that one.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to admit defeat on a play as a running back and just try and get that thing back to the line of scrimmage.
From their own 19-yard line. McNabb is in the gun. 3 receivers split out.
What did he? 45. Quick game, 44-2.
He drops back to pass. He throws left. Is there for the catch. He's tackled around the 19-yard line. Still not quite enough, however. They'll still be facing 4th down. Rossum back to return it. Punts it. And they make the fair catch. They were forced to punt on their last drive. The offense will start at the 39-yard line. It's 1st and 10.
Watch the switch. Watch the run now. 45. 45. Come on. Little hustle. Let's hit him in the mouth.
Feeds it to the back. Hit hard at the 43-yard line. A pickup of 4, and that will bring up 2nd down. San Francisco goes with the ace set here. He drops back. The defense has him surrounded. He's dropped. Boy, you talk about taking a big hit.
Boy, oh boy, he's got to be feeling that one right now. That is one nasty shot. And honestly, I think people are surprised just to see him get up.
Back to pass. He's running out of time. They get to him. They have to find a way to provide better protection for him.
You're absolutely right. There was not a very good blocking scheme on that one. If you can't get them blocked with 5 guys, you got to start leaving in 6, maybe even 7. These are tremendous pass rushers in this game today.
It's away, and it's a booming punt. Jackson takes it at the 25. He's brought down at the 44-yard line. What happened to the coverage there, Chris?
Oh, come on. They completely lost containment on that guy. I mean, you just can't let that happen. I'll be honest. They were really lucky they didn't give up a touchdown on that one.
He's looking to throw. On the run, he throws it. He's dropped at about the 39-yard line. Excellent pass by the quarterback on that play.
I'm really enjoying watching the timing between this receiver and the quarterback. We're seeing a well-schooled offense now going to work.
Hey, regular. Right. Stay there.
McNabb gives it left. And it looks like we have a flag down on the play. Hate to say it, but this one looks like it's coming back.
Holding. Offense.
And I really didn't see the hold there.
Honestly, Tom, there is holding on every single play. I mean, the rule changes now allow for the guys to grab, but you have to keep inside the framework of the defensive player. As long as you do that, it typically doesn't get called. It did there.
He's there for the catch. Tackled at the 44-yard line. Smith gains a handful of yards on that reception. It's 2nd down now and 14 to go. Philadelphia comes out with 3 receivers in the shotgun.
What did he? They're gonna run.
Buckhalter gets the carry. He's tackled at the 43-yard line. Just a yard there.
Well, that time the outside linebacker came on the run blitz. They got some penetration and shut down the play.
The backfield is in the offset I formation.
Set. By me five. Set. Let's go, baby. Get the ball out. Hey, don't lose your bite. Set.
Back to pass. Makes the short throw. He's brought down right around the 38-yard line. They were able to complete the pass on the play, but they'll still end up short of the first down.
And it's really up to the receiver in that situation to try and split the defenders. He has to find a way to duck a shoulder, to roll his head, to do something to, yes, they got the tackle, but they got it while I was still moving forward and able to pick up the first down.
The defense could do no wrong the last time this team had the ball. First down, looking to throw. Passes on the move. Great open field tackle. And simply a great throw there.
Yeah, that really was a nice touch that time. Perfect sort of combination of velocity and touch. A very catchable ball thrown by this quarterback so that you don't have to overly focus on what you're doing and you can get your eyes back down the field, try and get a good run after the catch.
He didn't get back to the line. Tried the run, but there was nothing available.
And if you can make a running back hesitate just a little, that time you could see there really was no hole and the running back was just fishing for a place to go.
Setting up play action. He's going to take off. And they get him at the 34. Pickup of about 8. From their own 34-yard line. Smith comes to the line under center. 2 backs in the eye. We've got a good one going here as we head to the fourth quarter. It's all tied up. First down now and 10 to go. Ball on their own 34. Here's the halfback. Brought down around the 40-yard line. Gore gets 6 yards on the play. The 49ers set up in the gun. Smith set to go to the air. He throws on the run. He's dropped around the 45-yard line. And this receiver just loves it when the defense is in man covering.
Yeah, that's a great call, Tom, because when you get a blitz package like that and your offensive line can first of all figure it out and then get it blocked, it's very tough to cover one-on-one in the secondary.
Setting up play action. With the catch. Knocked out at the 33-yard line. Pretty good gain right there.
You have so many people on this offense that you have to account for. The tight ends, the wide receivers, the running backs, even the quarterbacks. And now they're throwing to the fullback. That's almost not fair.
Smith hasn't missed yet. Short throw to the left. Completed. And they get him right around the 10-yard line. Not too bad a pass there.
Not too bad at all. And sometimes those little touch throws are actually more difficult than the bullet passes. Kind of hard to come up with the timing to hit the receiver right in stride, but that was well thrown.
Looking to throw. And the defense has a heavy rush. Catch is made. He's dropped for a loss. They lose a couple there.
That play was really all about defensive pursuit. They saw the ball thrown. They got there quickly for a loss on the play.
He's looking to throw. Throws it short. And it's caught. He's dropped right around the 10-yard line. And a pickup of about 2. Third down once again. Let's see if they can convert this one. The 49ers come out 3 wide. Smith is looking to stay perfect on this drive. End zone. He's in. Touchdown. The coaches have to be happy with that one.
Yeah, I guess they are. Anytime you draw up a play and it works to perfection like that, everybody's happy except the defense.
So they're ready for the extra point. Up and good. And we'll take a quick look at the drive summary. Here's the kick. He'll return it from the 1. They get him at the 25. They had to punt it away on their previous drive. The offense will take over at the 25. First down now and 10 to go. Westbrook off the left side. He makes his way to about the 35. That's a 10-yard gain. That'll bring up second down. Philadelphia is going with the offset eye backfield. Drops back to pass. And he caught it. He's brought down at the 36-yard line. He gunned that one in there for the first down, didn't he?
He really did. And when you watch a guy throw a ball that hard, they don't move their arm any faster. You see him driving off that back leg. That was a pretty pass.
Straight ahead with a fullback. He's hammered in the backfield. Loss of 3 yards. That brings up second down. From their own 33-yard line. The Eagles come out with the offset eye.
Let's go. 5. One's a hard count. Set. Hey, right.
Set. Gives it off. Hit and drop behind the line. The offense had a tough time picking up all their blocks on that play.
You know, you can draw up any sort of protection scheme and blocking scheme that you want. But ultimately, this game comes down to one big man against another big man, and that time the defense's big men, they won the battle.
Makes the grab, and they get him at the 46-yard line. Oh boy, that's a nice play on third down.
Clutch play by the receiver that time on third down. As a receiver, you really have to just flat out want the ball in that situation. You can tell that this guy really does.
He's tackled right around the 46-yard line. I'd say he got 1 or 2 feet on that drop.
And they really ran right into the blitz. That's a time that a veteran quarterback should have changed the play at the line of scrimmage. You could see the blitz coming. He didn't audible and only came away with a short gain.
Tosses it out. He took a shot at the 47-yard line. Westbrook Trent gets 6 yards after getting the toss. They stack the line of scrimmage here. We'll see which linemen are stronger.
5. Let's go, guys. Come on. 5. Let's get it. Reload. Set.
Hands it off. He makes his way to about the 38. They've got it working on third down.
But third down runs are really a statement about an offensive team. They're just saying that I don't think we have to go to any trick plays. I don't think we have to do anything fancy. We're going to line up and let our guys beat your guys.
Throws on the run. He's dropped at the 27. He made the right read on that pass.
Nice play that time by the quarterback. You know, we talk about progressions and going from one receiver to the next, but this quarterback is doing a great job in the pre-snap read, knowing who the first guy will be and getting him the football.
Handoff on the draw. He doesn't get back to the line. Looked for a seam, but he wasn't able to find anything.
And let's give credit to the defense. They had a great push there. They got in the backfield, took control of their own gaps.
They hand it off again. He's brought down at about the 25-yard line. The running back gains 2 yards on the carry. And they'll line this one up with 2 tight ends. Looks to pass. Rockets it out. Brought down around the 16-yard line. That one worked just as they drew it up.
Good pass, good catch, I agree. Sometimes there's really nothing you can do as a defense to stop a well-executed pass play.
McNabb is looking to stay perfect on this drive. He brings it in. Touchdown.
More and more, this team relies on Donovan McNabb to make plays. They put him back there in position to read the defense. He has the ability to run the football, but you better not relax against him. Even if he's looking all the way to the right, that backside receiver is still alive. That time they burn him for a touchdown.
Here's the kick. Extra point is good. Here's a quick look at the drive summary. Not a bad kick. Rossum from the 3. He's hammered at the 29-yard line. The offense lines up and is looking to score again after a successful trip to the end zone on their last drive.
Yeah, we see that screen. Turn over, D. Look what he touched. Rush. Let's run. Let's foreclose. Let's hunt then.
Drops back on first down. This pass is incomplete. He overthrew his target on that last one.
And the defense came after him with the blitz, and you see the net result of that. You don't always get a sack, but sometimes if you can just rush the quarterback, it is a positive net result for the defense.
Zebra.
He's looking to throw. Passes to his left. Makes the reception. And he's drilled at the 35. Good read of the defense on that pass play.
Yeah, and throws like that really settle a quarterback down. It's all about getting into the flow of a game, and you can see he's getting comfortable now.
Hard count. Scatter. Yeah.
Smith gives it up the middle. He's dropped around the 36-yard line. That play was stuffed from the get-go.
And it's not very often that I get really excited about defensive line play, but that time the guys up front on defense were just overpowering.
Punts it, and he got a good one here. Jackson takes it at the 21. He's tackled at about the 33-yard line. They gave up way too many yards on the return there, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, without a doubt. As part of the coverage team now, you've got to free yourself from that blocker as quickly as possible. And if you can't do that, you're going to give up some big returns.
Let's go on. Come on. Now let's see what they got.
And he will lose yardage on the play. The defense seemed to do everything right there.
And you love to see those linebackers playing downhill like that, not just flowing sideline to sideline, but attacking and trying to get in the backfield.
What did he?
Drops back. Looks for a man open. There for the reception. Nice little pickup on that pass pattern.
And I really shouldn't feel this way, but I get a little nervous every time this guy goes up to make a catch, because he's had a little bit of a history of dropping some balls, but today doing a nice job hanging on and a big play there.
Not much time to throw. Batted away. So the offense will probably head off the field after failing to convert for a first down on that series.
Well, you're going to have to gather the troops over on the sideline because whether it was poor play calling or poor execution, they never got anything going that time.
They get this one off, and it's a great kick. Into the end zone for a touchback. They didn't look sharp on their last drive, and were forced to punt it away. Dumps it out right, and the pass is incomplete. Ajema was the intended receiver, but the pass fell incomplete.
EA Sports title while you're here at the stadium.
The 49ers line up with 4 wideouts.
48! 48! Come on, baby.
Smith looking to pass. Throws while on the run. He's pushed out at about the 23-yard line. Davis picks up about 4 yards with the catch. So that'll make it 3rd down.
Let's get off.
They line up in a one-back set.
Blue 45! Blue 45!
He drops back. Huge pressure by the defense. How can you drop that? 4th down now after that incomplete pass. The offense wasn't able to get on track during that last series.
Yeah, they just kind of looked out of sync from the very beginning there, and I thought 1st down really set the tone for that entire series.
They get this one off, and it's a great kick. Jackson takes it at the 32. And they get him at the 43-yard line. Pretty nice job picking up yardage on that punt return.
He's definitely got some breakaway potential when he's back there returning kicks. You give him just a little bit of room, he could break it for a big one.
What it is? Hey, pick 6 right here, pick 6. Hey. Regular.
He looks to throw on 1st down. Brings this one in. He's tackled at about the 47-yard line. And you won't see the coaching staff complaining about that.
Yeah, coaching staffs generally don't complain about too much when they have a quarterback that has the leadership qualities and the arm strength and the ability that this guy has.
He drops back to pass. Sacked on the play. Well, with that sack, they now be faced with a 3rd and long situation. There are 4 wide receivers split out. The quarterback in the gun. Drops back to pass. Scans the field. Pass completed. He's brought down at the 43-yard line. He ran a clean route, and the quarterback got it to him with a good pass. 1st down.
And you can tell there's a lot of confidence between these two guys. The quarterback has faith in these tough situations to go to that receiver and make big plays.
Blue 55.
Play action. Gets the throw away. The quarterback put a little too much on that last pass.
We all know what a great arm this guy has. That time he showed it off a little too much.
They line up in a one-back set. The Eagles motion to the left side.
Turbo. Let's go get it, baby.
And they're coming after him. Brought down behind the line. That's a 2-yard loss.
You know, sometimes as a quarterback, you have to be careful about dumping it down too quickly. Stand in there, see what you've got working down the field. That time they were all over that quick throw.
45.
Drops back. Surveys the field. Can't stay in bounds. Incomplete pass. The quarterback put that one too far out in front of his receiver, and he couldn't stay in bounds.
He tried to make a safe throw there, but the receiver was open. It didn't have to be quite that cautious and just let him out of bounds.
Gets it away cleanly. This one's going to go out of bounds at the 21-yard line. They couldn't do anything against this defense on their last drive, and they were forced to punt.
Swim.
Single back formation, 3 wide receivers. Smith with the give. They tackle him for a loss. A great defensive effort there.
Did you see how fast that linebacker was on that one? Not only did he recognize it, but when he did recognize it, He had the explosiveness to get there.
Let's go. Touch. Blue 45. Blue 45. Stay right. Stay right. Lou. Queen. Roll.
Setting up play action. Pass is complete, and they get him right around the 28-yard line. And another connection that goes for good yardage.
And we really see the trust that is developing between this receiver and the quarterback. That if the quarterback has confidence that you're going to be where he thinks you're going to be, he will throw it to you more often than he'll throw it to somebody else.
He's dropped at the 40. A nice completion to the tight end.
I always thought tight ends were sort of like pacifiers for babies. You know, just about the time that you need a little security blanket, you know where to go.
Gord on the inside handoff. Brought down around the 44-yard line. 4 yards on that play, and that will bring up second down. Second down, 6 yards to go. Ball on the 44. Offset I formation in the backfield. Smith will hand it off. He tries to spin, but he's brought down. Gore gains about 4 yards on the play. San Francisco lines up in a goal line set. On play action, throws it short. No connection this time. Davis wasn't able to bring it in. Incomplete pass on the play. Fourth down. The 49ers ready to punt this one away. Jackson is back deep to receive.
For vehicles to hang over onto the sidewalk.
Punts it. So this one goes into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Let's see if the offense can put something together on this drive. Setting up play action. Rifles it right. Intercepted. He's tackled at about the 19-yard line. That interception could change the complexion of this game.
When you're playing with a tie score, you have to try to be aggressive, obviously, to get the game-winning score. But if you turn it over, oh my, what a painful turnover that was.
First down now and 10 to go. The backfield is in the offset I formation. We have 2 minutes left to play in this game. That'll be a pickup of about a yard. That'll bring up second down. The 49ers come out with the offset I. They'll give it off here. He lost yardage on the play. It looked as if the offensive line just collapsed on that play.
And it looked like this defensive line just beat him off the snap. Sometimes those guys can time out the quarterback's cadence. And if the quarterback doesn't start changing that snap count, his offensive line is going to really struggle.
Throws it short. Makes the catch. And they get him right around the 14-yard line. And that one was completed for a solid gain.
Solid gain, yes, but no first down on that play. So now it's going to bring up a decision on the part of the offense. Defensively, I think they executed that one exactly the way they wanted to.
And here's the kick. Jackson from the 8. Stays on his feet. Hit and dropped at the 29-yard line. Down 3, under 2 minutes to go. It doesn't get much more exciting than this.
Well, there's really no other way to put it. The game is on the quarterback's shoulders at this point, and the first down is always the most difficult to get. Once you get that one, a lot of times the momentum really gets on your side.
He passes short. Tackled at the 36-yard line. Pretty good read on that play to find the open man.
And that's an area where he excels. He works his way through his progressions quickly and doesn't hesitate when he sees a receiver break free in coverage.
Looking for a receiver. He throws it. Deflected and broken up. A great play by the defense to knock the ball away.
And these defenders have been close all day. You better be careful if you're the quarterback. One of those is going to turn into an interception.
Left. Real. 5v5. Hey, move that. Blue 55.
Looks to pass. Gets the pass off. He lost it. And they're able to get back the fumble. It looks like they're going to go no huddle. McNabb is in the gun. 3 receivers wide this time. They'll throw on first down. And the defense has a heavy rush. Picked off, and that should do it. And they really could have done without that.
Just when you started to think this offense was starting to find themselves, they have a chance here late in the game, you throw an ugly pick, that's a disaster.
First down, 10 to go. Ball on the 43. Offset I formation in the backfield. Smith with the give. He's brought down at the 43-yard line. Maybe a yard on the run by the halfback. They'll face second down and 10. Ball on their own 43. We should just see the quarterback take a knee right here, winding down the rest of this clock. They take a knee.
Stops the clock.
From their own 42-yard line. The backfield is in the offset I formation. Hands it to the back. Man, this guy is quick. He's dropped at the 47-yard line. He did what he could, but it still won't be enough for a first down.
And defensively, they'll give you a run like that. I mean, it's third down and long situation, and if you want to simply hand the ball off, take it. We'll let you punt the football, and we'll go back and drink some little water.
Gets the punt away. Down in the end zone for a touchback. And this was a good one. Our final score is the 49ers 19, the Eagles 16.